Now to breaking news out of Ukraine. Minutes ago, we learned Russian troops are now shelling a Ukrainian nuclear power plant. It is the largest one in Europe. It accounts for about a quarter of the country's power. Meantime, new video shows the extent of the damage from Russian bombardment. Homes in one neighborhood of Kyiv are now just smoldering shells of homes. A massive plume of black smoke could be seen rising from one apartment building. And from the sky, drone video shows what's left of another town as Russian President Vladimir Putin takes his war into a new deadly phase, ordering troops to target residential areas of Ukraine. U.S. officials now say 90% of Russia's combat power that was surrounding Ukraine is now inside the country, while President Biden says he will grant temporary protected status to Ukrainians in the U.S. for the next 18 months. CBS News reporter Skyler Henry joins us live with the very latest from the White House. Skyler?
Hey, Liz, good to see you. So let's start here with the most recent news, at least in terms of the Biden administration, that temporary protected status for the Ukrainians who live in the United States. We're talking around 75,000 individuals who could be eligible to receive that TPS status. We should also mention that deportations have stopped temporarily because of the humanitarian crisis in that area. As for the Biden administration and lawmakers here on Capitol Hill, they are focused on squeezing Russia economically. That means targeting with new sanctions oligarchs and their families.
During televised comments, Russia's President Vladimir Putin said operations in Ukraine were going according to plan. Russian forces have taken Kherson. They've also surrounded Mariupol, while heavy strikes continue in Kharkiv and just outside the capital, Kyiv.
The use of weapons with wide area effects in populated urban areas risk being inherently indiscriminate.
The United Nations Human Rights Council says more than 1 million people have fled Ukraine in the week since the invasion began, and 1 million more are displaced internally. After a second round of peace talks between Russian and Ukrainian negotiators in Belarus, both sides said they'd reached an agreement to create safe civilian evacuation corridors. President Biden discussed the situation in Ukraine with the leaders of Australia, India, and Japan before meeting with his cabinet.
We're going to continue to support Ukrainian people with direct assistance.
The Biden administration has asked Congress to approve $10 billion in new funding for military and humanitarian aid in Ukraine, and they want it approved next week.
I'm banning travel to America by more than 50 Russian oligarchs, their families, and their close associates.
The White House announced new sanctions on some of Russia's wealthiest individuals Thursday, but it appears to be at odds with a group of bipartisan lawmakers who want to ban Russian energy imports to the U.S.
We don't have a strategic interest in reducing the global supply of energy. That would raise prices at the gas pump.
They're so wrong. So wrong.
Senate Democrat Joe Manchin and Republican Lisa Murkowski are finalizing legislation.
And so that's what we're seeing right now. Everyone wants to do something to face and deal with the Russian economy, to really target and isolate it and really weaken it on multiple fronts. Lawmakers obviously trying to get that package through that would essentially prohibit the U.S. from receiving things like Russian crude oil, petroleum, coal, those sorts of things. But again, as you heard White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki say in the piece, they feel as though, the White House that is, that a move like that would certainly make prices skyrocket at the pump for Americans all across the country.
And Skyler, I want to go back to talking about the attempt to hurt Russia's economy. Every day, a new sanction, a new restriction. Is there more that we could be doing?
Well, certain lawmakers certainly feel that way. That's why they are trying to get that legislation passed. But the Biden administration and these new round of sanctions that were announced this afternoon are targeting those 20 or so more oligarchs and their families, hoping to really sort of put the squeeze on Russian President Vladimir Putin. These oligarchs were selected because they have or are in close proximity to Putin, and so they're hoping that the ripple effects of that will certainly be felt by the Russian president. And you remember, not only the U.S., but Western allies are going after things like these folks' yachts. A lot of people, especially now, can't fly in U.S. airspace after the State of the Union address where the president announced that new move. And so I think the goal here, again, is to isolate, weaken, and really target the Russian economy, and with hopes of trying to get those troops out of Ukraine.
Absolutely. All right, Skyler Henry, thank you.